This time on Woody's Garage. More work on Ducky.
Well, we came out ready for our glorious ride, and hey, no spark. You could tell right away. Seems like me screwing around with the wiring. Made me disconnect the coil, if that is the coil. Yeah, that's a short wire. The crappy fitting on it. It's not hitched up to the black wire from the ignition, from the points, magneto, etc. I do not have the wiring harness obviously hitched up in this machine, or just have the bare requirements to get it to run, which are points to coil to spark plug. So I gotta see if I can plug that back in, find the black wire, which comes out of here, goes into this harness, and yeah, there it is. So this is kind of, obviously all kind of nonsensical here. I should make that a little more stout. Put those two together, boy, that's a stretch. No wonder it came off. You can see it, those two. But yeah, we get spark, so I want to try to make that better. Yeah, sometimes you wonder why you do this stuff. Like, that barely reaches that, and it's so easy to yank it out. I gotta fix it, and to do that, I gotta take off the seat, homemade seat, and the gas tank, but I want to do it right. So, I mean, because when you cobble these things together, you're like, you want to get it running, you want to see what things are and stuff like that, so you just, sometimes it's the shortest route, and yeah, I'll fix it later. Just like the rear wheel, like that doesn't match anything on the bike, but now that's fixed up. Well, it took about 3 minutes. I don't know what I was whining about, but here you see a little tiny wire. Let's take this off. God, I never trust these things. And well, now, I mean, you can see, like look at that, barely friggin' made it. We got the soldering iron out, some solder, some shrink tube. I got this lead that we just made. That seems to be pretty tight in there, so I feel confident about it. It's a little thicker than the other wire, but yeah, it was readily available. Okay, you pre-tin the wires, or no, I just tin the wires with some solder, both ends. Then the tripod out here, you just put them together and hold the soldering iron to them, and they will solder up really nice. You put the shrink wrap over it. Obviously I put it on before I soldered things up, and I always end up making these ugly. I don't know how people get them nice, but it's just heat that shrinks them up. I'm not using the tip. I think that should be plenty long. Now, do we screw around with the ignition? No. I'd like to. Not a lot of good schematics out there for Z50s, lots for CT70s. With the tank off, you got a lot of access to the carburetor. Be a good time to change it if you're going to change it. Another thing I noticed is, like, yeah, the tank is off right now, kinking the hose, but the hose was kind of kinked like that before, so I'm going to try to remedy that so that we make sure that it's getting fuel. Well, I should probably see if it starts first, but here's the switch. 3 position. It's off right now. We got headlight, C2, not sure what that is. Red is it says a plus, G plus, that's weird, like ground plus. Brown, I'm pretty sure, is tail light. Black, you can't really see, is in there. Of course, that's the most important one. And, or is this black? And you can't read, sorry, you can't read what's there. In green, that's the ground. Like I said, I'd like to hitch this up so that I have an on-off switch. But if you notice the colors here, this plugs into this. We got blue, red, gray, black, brown. And here we have blue, black, red, no green, but we do have a brown. And then we have a yellow and a brown and red stripe too. You know, you might be able to use this for the whole harness. I'm not absolutely sure. I gotta find a good schematic. Haven't found one yet. Let's see if it starts. I think we'll have to put it back together. It's too bad we have such access right now, but show must go on. Here's a strap I made out of an inner tube to hold down the tank. Pretty much what the original is supposed to do, but mine's starting to rip, but I think it'll hold. Here's the quickie seat, in case you're curious. Just some foam. I'm not sure what I used. A piece of plywood, and I put these angled brackets in. And yeah, it holds. Okay, we'll see if it starts now. Gas hose is still kind of cute. I don't know, it's gotta be points. It's gonna run like that shitty. Damn it. Okay, I pulled the plug. It's very sooty. So we pulled that black wire, that hot wire, and we got it hitched up to the voltmeter. And the voltmeter you have set to so it makes a sound, an ohm continuity test, so that when you put the two leads together, you get that sound. So when the points in here are together, they're going to make a sound. When they're open, that's when you're not going to get a sound, because they're not making a connection. And we want it to like just lose the sound when it gets to the F mark on the flywheel. Oop, I'm turning it the wrong way. Turns clockwise. There you got a F mark, and got a T, which is top dead center. F is fire. So, and then there's a little mark in the case right there, right where the T is right now. That's where you want the, as soon as it hits the F, right around there, you want the sound to go out. So I'm going to try to get it working before I show you. Basically, you have to set the points through this damn hole. You loosen that screw in there, and then you manipulate the points to be set. Does that make any sense? Hope so. Right now with the T mark, I got about 15, which would, you know, you're between 12 and 16. And that feels like just about right, but that's really not the way to do it, so the experts say. I just wanted to get a reading. I'm going to also, I want to file these points, make sure that they're clean. I can't recall if I put new ones in or not. By the looks of that condenser, looks like these are old. Okay, we're going in because I don't know what's going on. The meter seems to go off no matter where it is. So something's up. I took off the 17 millimeter nut. This is a left-hand thread special tool. Screw it all the way in just to get the flywheel off. And then you do the center in. Use the impact driver, and there it is. Uh-oh, look who's here. He's gonna like take away my time. The birds always go crazy when he comes. Listen to him. Where you been all day, huh? He goes around from house to house all around the neighborhood. Sometimes he stays for a long time. Sometimes he's just comes and goes, just says hello. When he first started coming here, he would just kind of sneak around. He wouldn't make any noise. I'd be working in the shop, and he'd like be in the shop totally quiet, and I'd turn around and go, oh! Yeah, enough cat. And he likes his treats. Listen to him. Get the point file in there. It's kind of a better way to do it. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on. And they look nice and flat. And there's enough meat right there. Okay, we've got the flywheel back on. We sprayed a little contact cleaner between the points there, so it's nice contact. Now I'm going to scrap the multimeter test. Why? Because there's a latency, a time gap between when there's continuity and when there's not, so that's not very good. Instead, we're going to hitch up a test light type situation. I'll show you. Okay, you'll see the test light's on right now. That means the points are connected. When you turn this around, at some point they're going to go out, and it's just for a brief moment too. It's not long. That doesn't completely go out. Yeah, I'm good at this. Should be right around there. You can see it. Definitely flickers. Shit. And you can see those are wide open. Why am I getting the light on? These are really beat. Yeah, I loosened this. That's where the connector goes. You can see that this spring like goes behind it. You can pull that out. It's really crusty in here too. These things are shot. Look at the shaft of the points, how rusted that is. They were really hard to get off. Yeah, that could definitely be a problem. Alright, we filed the points a little bit. Yeah, they still look like crap. I don't have any other ones. Cleaned off that post there, so we can get a focus. I put some dielectric grease on it, or distributor grease, whatever it is. And they seem to move really free now. Yeah, really nice, no binding. Let me turn it around this way. Come on, fumble fingers. I mean, that's just like, as it should be. You'll notice that there's those ribs on that post that, it's got to get a little cleaner. That I think are made to hold some grease in. I mean, you don't blop grease all over it, but just enough so that it moves freely. Okay, they like new now. I don't have the clip on the top yet. I'm wondering if the spring here was against the post here rather than having the insulator behind it, and that was what was causing the light to be on all the time. Could be. The surface of the points looks better. We got some grease in there. They move really nicely. Let's see what happens now. What the heck? Okay, if you can see that gap in there, I got it set at 14 at T. So that's a ballpark right there. That's, well, it's running good now. I gotta run it out of gas because there's no shut off. But yeah, I set the points at 14. I just left them like that. I didn't do any timing stuff at all. Made the gas line a little less kinky. And you know what made a big difference? Taking off that air filter I just put on. Like, must be choking the hell out of it. So I gotta come up with some kind of air filter that can breathe. Don't know what. Still running with the gas shut off. It'll just go forever. Might as well clean up this junk. Junk in there as best we can. Still thinking about an air filter. And this is the air filter right here. I put a piece of tape around it just because it's supposed to have some kind of bracket holding the two pieces together. Yeah, might as well crack it open just a sec. Here's the outside. It's a clear path to there. And this I cut out of filter material. I don't know, too dense? Oh, it's finally dying now. And that just is a screen into that. So, I don't know. Well, I doubled them up here. Whatever this stuff was. I gotta use something. And if you're wondering why, like, hey, why don't you just buy new points, new this, new that? Well, there's a race and a party coming up in about 2 weeks. I'm kind of faltering on the bikes I'm gonna bring, so I thought maybe this might fill in. I didn't think it was, I thought it was running good. So that's why I'm not buying this stuff right now, because it would take days to get it. Look at the junk in here. Man, if I didn't clean this out, come on. I just noticed, oddly enough, that there's some water in this gas. Besides the cloudiness, that dirty crap at the bottom is water. Which is also something I purged before taking the air cleaner off. By the way, you know what makes really lousy rags? Old sweatshirt material. They're clean enough for now. Yeah, these holes are so dirty. I've got to try to clean them out a little bit. Well, nothing seems to work as an air filter for this thing. Even without an air filter element in it, it still bogs down. So I decided to get a pod type of filter, about the cheapest one I could find on eBay, and hopefully that'll work. So I think that's it for now. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, so I think I'm going to bring this in the basement and maybe try to refine some other stuff if I can.